What's good, Shadow Gang? Welcome back to another video. If y'all new here, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Follow me on my Instagram at RickyShadow, as well as my Twitter and TikTok. And yeah, man, let's get right into it. But actually, before we start, yes, yo boy got a new mask. We're gonna talk about that in a whole nother video. But I know I've been lacking this whole week. So, well, last week, depending which week I decide to post this. But as you can see, I've been busy trying to cop the mask. You know, this is months in the making. So, yeah, let's get right into it. And we're going to react to our good boy Jamari. Drake won't stop humiliating himself. What did this weirdo do now? You know, I was doing fine adoring Drake, especially after the Super Bowl. But you know, I love Jamari. I react to him a lot of times here on the channel. So, yeah, let's see what the fuck this is about. So, yeah, let's get right into it.
So UMG has officially responded to Drake, and they have basically told him, "It's over, my guy." They slapped him with this 25-page rebuttal to the judge, where they essentially play the exact same game that Drake's lawyers were playing, using song lyrics both against Drake and to bolster their argument. Only in this case, they're using logic and reasoning, where Drake was using academics' YouTube streams and his own fan pages for reference.
Yeah, I wanted all this, why I strive for it. This me, you'll never hear a reply for it.
Drake, successful. Plaintiff, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. Instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. Basically, they came out swinging and making the point that everyone else already has, that if Drake had been victorious in this battle of public perception, that he would not be suing anyone. In fact, he would likely be going on the Fuck Kendrick tour just like he did with Meek Mill. They even note here that Drake himself was encouraging Kendrick to drop a response to him for weeks, which is exactly what happened. He was even going on Instagram saying that they have nothing to drop, and that he had the red button on deck if they did, which most people now assume was his Family Matters track. And well, we all know how that ended.
Obviously, we're ready.
I hate ads.
Small monkey at the barber shop.
Say what? Do you let the monkey cut your hair?
Essentially, UMG comes from the angle that both of these guys said hyperbolic things about each other. Obviously, Drake was called a PDF at the Super Bowl, by the way, and the Grammys. Oh god, and at the Oscars too?
Well, we're halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a
And Kendrick was called a wife-beating lowlife who Drake says is fathering the love child of his partner and his best friend and business associate, Dave Free. Basically, UMG is saying that Drake and Kendrick, by Drake's depiction in his lawsuit, both actually committed their share of defamation using UMG as the vehicle to do so, and that this is actually an attempt to basically...
Am I tripping? Can y'all hear a snoring sound? If this microphone can capture any noise, like what the fuck? This is a brand new microphone, by the way. I don't know if y'all seen. Okay, we'll keep going.
Basically limit or restrict Kendrick's
like a snoring sound. My wife is sleeping.
Right to free speech and creativity, and that the implications of this lawsuit is something that Drake has signed petitions against.
Y'all probably hear me sniffing, don't y'all? Yeah, y'all probably hear me sniffing. I'm sorry. We'll get right on it.
In the recent past, using song lyrics as facts in court.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it.
These are all things I said when the lawsuit first reared its ugly head, that there was no logic behind his claims because he did all the same shit. For instance, in alternate reality where photos surfaced of Whitney being all beaten and battered, we might be looking at a totally different outcome. But to the victor goes the spoils, and for Drake's claims of adultery and abuse, there was little to no evidence to point to. That's why the claims really did not stick. Next, they really go through Drake's career and highlight the fact that they had a successful business partnership for the greater part of the last 2 decades, making him one of the most popular artists in the world during that time.
His business is selling the record, but everything that they said that he did, that they did for Kendrick, is something they did for him.
And then they break down the lyrics of the songs from the beef to kind of just display that both of these men were talking their shit to each other.
Exactly.
Then, seemingly impatient with the time it was taking Lamar to respond, Drake released tailor-made freestyle on Instagram. The recording uses artificial intelligence to make it sound as if the voices of deceased rap icon Tupac and rapper Snoop Dogg are rapping Drake's lyrics.
He did the Tupac thing.
Drop and give me 50.
Yeah. Doing the Tupac AI thing.
Right.
You know, you talk about feeling disrespect. I mean, the whole coast, we love Tupac. Right. You know what I'm saying? The world love Tupac.
Drake urges Lamar in the voice of Tupac to talk about Drake liking young girls. I mean, y'all have to remember, Drake said the Epstein angle was what he expected. That he plotted for weeks and fed Kendrick this information. They also note that these rumors of him having questionable relationships with underage girls in the entertainment industry have been circling for almost a decade. They even cite here the video of him and the 17-year-old girl on stage at his concert from 2010. Remember, Drake is the one who specifically brought up Millie Bobby Brown on the Hard Part 6. And to me, I've always seen that as sort of a self-report. Because while Kendrick said, oh, you like these young girls, he never mentioned any of them by name. And in his own voice, Drake raps,
Since like that, your tone changed a little. You're not as enthused. How are you not in the booth? It feels like you kinda removed. You try and let this shit die down. Nah, not this time. You following through. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the fuck is taking so long? We waiting on you.
And then obviously the nuke was dropped on his head top. Now they really continue to harp on the back and forth of the lyrics. I saw Drake fans online saying that this was pathetic, but it's like, how do you not realize that they are just being petty and showing Drake how slippery the slope he's trying to create is? They also say that he has zero grounds for his defamation case, and I feel like even if he did, he should be suing Kendrick, not UMG, because the word said with alleged malice all came out of...
Kendrick is the one that called you that. How you not gonna sue him? Like, make that shit make sense. First of all, you shouldn't be suing at all. You started this shit, Brody. Let's get that out the way. Second of all, motherfucker, how you gonna portray yourself to be something like big and bad, and then you do some corny shit like sue someone? Like, come on, man.
Out of his mouth.
You think he signed to that record label too? The one he's suing? Like,
they then cite several defamation lawsuit attempts that public figures filed that quickly got dismissed. For those of you that don't know, defamation is extremely hard for a public figure to try and prove, and to say someone acted with true malice is almost impossible to prove. Basically, the filing says, Drake, you are a huge hypocrite and a really sore loser, and you have no justification for your claims that will hold up in court.
I study rap battles for a living.
So this is honestly going exactly like I thought it would, and it's even funnier to watch all the...
Did he just fucking... What the fuck? Okay. Let me be serious here. Did this man just... Wait, what is that from? What is that from? I need to know what video that is from, what year it was, because ain't no way. I study rap battles for a living. My boy. Besides the Pusha T, Meek Mills, and Kendrick, what beef have you really had? The way he made it seem like he's on that Eminem time, like where he's beefing with every single body. Like, get the fuck out of here, dog.
The Drake dick riders crash out on Twitter. It has been damn near a year since this all started, and they have fought tooth and nail every single day, trying to twist and turn the narrative in their favor.
Embarrassing!
Obviously, Drake's not fucking banging underage girls.
He can get any girl he wants.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, I think Drake...
Two grown men talk about another guy, how he can get girls. That's his fan base, dog. Especially this fucking clown. Y'all know how I feel about this idiot. This fucking
on that beef. Drake revived Kendrick's career.
100%.
Yeah, come on. I mean,
it's really like Kendrick did permanent damage to some of these fools. Like, they're out here hiding his albums at the store.
Cornballs.
Doxing people and threatening lives over Billboard charts. This one girl, the Kendrick fan, even went out to the place that they were going to meet up to fight.
If any of y'all wanted to know, I am here. I'm still here. Yeah, still waiting.
Now,
Oh,
to
shit,
me,
look
both
familiar.
of these people should be ashamed of themselves
Mhm.
because they have let this internet shit go way too far. They
The
are way
keyboard
too
warriors,
invested.
dog.
Like, whether you like Drake or Kendrick, it will never be worth losing your life.
And then they get people to push a narrative, and then you become a human bot. Don't be a bot ass nigga.
I just don't like Drake
You
at all.
know,
But I
don't
ain't
be
never
programmed
gonna
to
go
say
that
something
crap.
that's not true because it's somebody else's agenda because you heard other bots say it.
And even when Drake dropped his most recent album on Valentine's Day, which I actually thought was a decent record, his fans couldn't even truly enjoy it because their boogeyman had and has had the #1 song in the world with Luther, and has now been beating Drake's album in sales months after GNX was released. An album with half the amount of songs, by the
I didn't
way,
even know
with
Drake
several
was
of his
dropping.
singles
That's the crazy
retaining
part.
very high placement on the charts. And this was all despite Drake allegedly paying people trying to manufacture trends for songs from his new album.
Just break down what you've been doing with Drake and Party Next Door's team for their album launch. We did 53 million views in a week. His album went #1 in 7 days. They gave us a budget to pay out their audience, pay out clippers and UGC creators to just make content like around the album, anything related. So we're paying 70 cents per 1,000 views for UGC creators to make like videos reacting to it, lip syncing, dancing.
And you guys basically created like the Nokia trend.
Yeah, it's cooking right now. I can't escape it.
That is the exact same shit that he was accusing Kendrick and UMG of doing to manufacture a hit for Not Like Us. While his fans encouraged people to stream the album in their sleep, and some of them were even out here buying 30 copies to try and propel him up the charts. And that's not to even mention the accounts who have been running propaganda plays with steak ads for the last 9 months, spreading blatant lies every single day to millions of accounts. And even comparing his situation to Emmett Till, like some of y'all have lost the fucking
What the
plot.
fuck?
On another front though, I did want to talk about Drake's tour in Australia, because it got cancelled about halfway through, with his team stating that it was due to a scheduling conflict.
So Drake has actually just canceled the remaining dates on the Australia and New Zealand tour.
They're suppressing him in
the
Australia
DMX
too?
win.
Yo, UMG reached crazy!
You get on my nerves.
Wow!
Which people were not buying at all.
Fans are pissed off because they have all these shows now that are canceled, and they're trying to figure out what is happening because the reason that was given was just scheduling conflict, and people are like, that makes no sense. What is a scheduling conflict? This is supposed to be a tour. Y'all supposed to have it together. They're like, he's not committed to his fans. They think that there's something underlying here. There's something really wrong. I don't know how oversight like that happens though on a tour this big.
Exactly.
And since he stopped the shows, he has made non-stop public appearances. So it seems that the schedule was pretty cleared up all along.
I remember him being in Toronto in the Elimination Chamber. I saw it on X. I'm thinking, oh, they're finally gonna show Drake. They didn't show Drake at all that whole night, and that motherfucker was front row. Like, that's crazy. They showed everybody
This
but his ass.
cancellation led to many people assuming the tour was not selling as well as he thought it would, and even looking at some of these videos, the crowd looks much weaker than what you would expect.
What do you mean? Oh damn, no one's singing?
Make it ring, girl, make it.
Damn.
You again.
It's like, I want to feel bad, but
that Grubhub deal
homie
with
did it
Prime, huh?
to himself.
Should we just start carpooling?
I'm looking myself in the mirror.
Other than
right
that, every night this shit basically turns into a charity case with people begging Drake for money. And of course he had to go on yet another rant on the fakeness of the entertainment industry, crying about everyone who decided to turn their back on him.
For a man that's pretty fake himself, he sure is a little sensitive ass child when it comes to other people being fake to him. Like, Jesus Christ, for a man that's been famous his whole life, like, Jesus, shouldn't you know better by now, dog?
On him in what he describes as his weakest moment.
For my family, for my friends, for all my collaborators, all the producers, all the other artists that I work with, the ones that didn't turn pussy, I mean, the ones that's still real, you know.
So Drake clearly is still out to
not a lot.
self-victimize himself, and the
Correction.
dude is still
I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, the ones that stayed on his articles.
extremely
But
hurt.
they
Like
did
at
leave
the
you
end of the
bleeding.
day, Drake's reputation, fame, and status almost seemed more important to him than the actual money. And now a lot of that has obviously been stripped away. I mean, just looking at that moment from the Oscars, it was the most talked about thing of the night. In terms of the petition he had filed against iHeartRadio, trying to see the payola discovery, they have come to a resolution with iHeart saying, in exchange for documents that showed iHeart did nothing wrong, Drake agreed to drop his petition. No payments were made by either one of us. Remember that Drake's stance was that iHeart had received illegal payments, aka payola, from UMG to boost the radio play of the #1 song in the world. This was settled by a judge with prejudice, meaning that Drake cannot go back and try and open this back up.
That's
and that
crazy.
is kind of the exact way I see this UMG lawsuit playing out. And I just really can't shake the thought, like, why did you have to do this, Drake? Like, even if
He's
he
desperate.
somehow wins, it sets a horrible precedent for rap, freedom of speech, and really all forms of artistic expression that are protected by that. All this guy had to do was take his L on the chin and move on. He has a big enough fan base, and he just dropped a good enough record where the conversation would have begun to move past the beef. In fact, I think people were getting a little bit fatigued of it, seeing the Grammys, seeing the Super Bowl. I think it felt like 100% done. It felt 100% milked. It felt like the moment had kind of passed, but it's like he just keeps extending it. He keeps turning the stove back on only to burn his...
Wait, I just realized something. Hold on. Where the fuck is my phone? Hold the fuck up. You know what?
Its own hand.
I'm about
But
to
either way, I want to
explore.
know what you guys think about this latest update down below. I also want to thank you guys for watching today's
Hold on.
video,
I just
dropping a like
realized
and
something.
subscribing, but...
It's been over a year. Thank you, Jamari. Appreciate you, dog. Let me, what the fuck? No mind that. We ain't gonna... I'm about to look up something. When... Hold on. It was released on May 4th of 2024. Bro, we're like 2 months away from it being 1 year old. What the fuck? I just realized that shit. Cause like I keep forgetting. Everybody keeps saying it's been over almost a year. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is almost a year. And I'm like, how close are we for it to be that song being a year? Bruh. This is how you know he milked this shit. Drake milked this shit for so long that in 2 months it's gonna be a whole 1 year since Not Like Us dropped. Listen, man, I don't care if you're a Drake fan or not. Tell your boy to chill. Just tell him to chill. The fact that that's crazy to me. Bro, this is a long ass reaction, man. I'm gonna end it here. Just get your boy. Every Drake fan out there, every lover boy or whatever, get your boy, bro. At this point, he's doing this to himself, bro. We're 2 months away. But less than 2 months away because, bro, what day is it today? It's the 23rd, dog. We're literally... Bro, next week will be April. Yeah, no, like... Dog, I'm sorry. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. Please watch my previous videos and all that. Bro, it's about to be a whole 1 year. Alright, man. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'll catch you on the next one. Shadow out. Peace.